Okay, good morning to you all again. It's a nice hot summer.
Welcome to Go Palakas.
Let's go Palakas again, and we
Good to
miss
be
you.
back. Yeah.
Anyway, the young bloods did very well last week, so I think they should take over
We should have them more often.
more often. But you know, Women's Month pa rin ngayon eh. But there are other topics that we need to discuss simply because they're the topics of the day or the past week. One of the things that's being sorted out today, maybe it has to do with water. Our,
It was World Water Month
our
to
president,
remind us about how important water is.
our president recently, there's a move to create a water department for the country to
Or at least a
monitor.
committee, something that focuses just
Yeah.
on water.
Because their data, not like nagkukulang tayo sa data with regards to water consumption, water needs, kung saan yung highly populated na mga lugar. So this is not lacking. But what is lacking is the information dissemination down to the grassroots.
Yes. And also, the mitigation efforts,
Right.
To make sure
What
na
to
hindi
do.
na tayo lagi naghihirap sa tubig.
Kadalasan yung nakikita natin na yung major concern na areas, especially the highly populated location like NCR,
Tapos lowland pa.
Region 1, that includes Region 3. Region 3 especially na dyan yung population growth.
Oo.
This province, Bulacan, Panga, Tarlac, and towards Nueva Ecija. Now, then towards the south, you have the Calabarzon areas, Cavite, Laguna. These are all built-up areas. Now, in those areas in Calabarzon, more or less because of a higher rainfall and closer to the sources of the mountains and forests, they should be able to compensate or to supply the needs of their people. But even then, it's been a habit in our whole country to be extracting water from the ground.
Puro
In-
well tayo.
Puro sa well tayo umaasa. And in the long run, this is not a good thing simply because these are our reserves.
Oo, nagiging finite tuloy yung resource na yun kasi ang dami.
Dami.
90% yata ng ating tubig galing sa well eh.
Well, shallow or
Ang dami
deep.
nating ulan when it's time for rain.
But because now based on forecast this coming year, we'll be entering a El Nino, meaning dry.
Oo.
Now, if you are in regions like Region 1 or many places in the country,
O
Region
dito yan
2,
sa amin.
Region 3, and perhaps down south, we don't know how this would play out. But we will see that pag sinabing El Nino, kadalasan, it's countrywide. It's not like it's just only regionalized areas which are experiencing the severity of dryness. Now, here where we are, Region 1, Region 2, the issue is matagal na kaming low rainfall.
Oo, habang binabaha po ang ating mga kababayan down south, dito na mo, tuyong-tuyo.
Oo, katulad ngayon.
May dadaanan lang kaming cornfields. Parang nasunog na yung mga
Susunod,
halaman
nangingitim
sa
lahat
init.
sa init.
Oo.
Matindi. This last 4 or 5 days talagang even from everywhere, Metro Manila, those places, no? Pampanga, daman natin ngayon yung
Init. Sobra.
lupit ng init.
Mm.
And it only means that we're not going to be looking at this as just something that takes place every so often. But kung hindi, it will continue and it may get worse. No? And then puro, I know I'm putting something that is negative to hear, but yet it's also important to be informed.
Yeah, so that we can also prepare.
Yes.
Now, one of the things that our government wants us to do also on the individual level, kung pwede tayong gumawa ng mga cistern natin if we had the means and the space to save water, for your own consumption. Kahit man lang sa tag-ulan, makasave tayo ng mga rainwater. At saka, ang sinasabi din recently nga, our president was talking about there are certain countries na ang tubig, fresh water ka is very limited, no? So ideal thing is that the water gets used 2 to 3 times before we let it go
Yeah.
from our properties, no?
So we've taken for granted that water is always going to be there kasi the country is very mataas ang rainfall.
Pero Tito Toby, can you
Yearly.
explain that how you can reuse that water before you let it go?
Yeah, there's so many ways to use water. So, let's say, the domestic use. Sa bahay, for example, yung mga, pag naghugas kayo ng kamay, naghugas kayo ng pinggan,
Or bigas also, no?
bigas, imbis na
Oo.
sa drainage tumutuloy yan at palabas kung saan man, hindi nyo alam, become mindful. This is the main thing.
Mm-mm.
Mindfulness is a means to remind you that this resource is not,
It's precious siya.
yeah, and it's
precious.
not unlimited. It is
Oo.
limited. And it has a cost. Now, we are not costing many components that contributes to the availability of water in our household. We don't consider how nature, the systems of nature, yung water system, may science kasi behind that eh. Eh kadalasan, pag naisip natin yung tubig, pag wala ng tubig sa bahay, doon tayo nagko-complain or bumibili na tayo ng tubig ngayon. So, nakikita natin na yung trend has been changing. Ang isang lumalabas na pag-ano, based on studies and research, nagbago din yung ating use.
Our
Kumbaga ano yung
consumption.
consumption
Yan,
natin.
oo.
So for example, sabi nga, for the past 40 years, nag-increase yung consumption ng tubig 1% per year. Pag
Yun yung trend, no?
yun ang trend.
Every
Pag
year.
i-quantify ninyo, i-put it together, that's
Dami
40%.
ganun. Oo.
So now, if you look at it in the next given 10 years
Mm-mm.
or 20 years,
Or at least hanggang 2050 yung pinag-uusapan eh.
oh, that
Ng
becomes
mga ano,
80% yung consumption
Laki
natin.
na.
This is where we need to, put,
medyo pag-isipan natin
Isipan
ito
na
mabuti. Oo, gawa tayo ng paraan.
and like all the studies would point, mga research, nakikita natin na talagang the way we treated water has been wasteful.
Oo, hindi, like what you said, hindi nga tayo mindful, ano?
Yeah, we're not mindful of how we use water. You know, I can share a few tips here kasi kami, nakatira kami sa farm and we're sufficient, no? Self-sufficient sa tubig namin na galing sa surface water sa mga springs. But nakikita namin yan, ang liit na ng, kunyari, ito yung tubong pumapasok, naka 1/3 na lang yung tubig.
Oo, dati puno yun.
Puno yun, solid na 1 inch na
Nalabas.
nalabas this time of the year. But ngayon, 1/3 na lang. So it only means, sanay kami na marami kaming halaman at mga tanim. So kaya even sa ating mga bakuran or farms, we have to plant more trees to minimize the moisture evaporation. We have to go on the microclimate mode. Even dito sa ating mga bahay, may ganyan din na ginagawa. Kadalasan kasi natin, siyempre, kung kayo nasa urban area, ang choice nyo lang magkaroon kayo ng impoundings. At saka i-minimize niyo yung konsumo.
Yeah, at saka yun nga, i-recycle ang tubig. Halimbawa, yung iba, ang ginagawa, pag naligo sila, nakatayo sila sa batya. Para yung tubig, nasa-save nila. Pwede pang flush, pang linis sa mga kotse, kung ano, no?
O kaya may mga sistema
Or sa
na,
kitchen, yung ating hugas-bigas, pwede siyang pandilig.
alam niyo yung mga
fertilizer
lababo
pa.
natin, ito isang obra to, it will work. Kaya ito yung lababo natin. Maglagay kayo ng adapter na nagde-drain, kunyari na sa inyong mga CR.
Oo.
No? Imbis na pumupunta sa drainage at septic or just spills over, you connect the lababo outlet to your
Toilet.
toilet,
Oo, yun sa tangke.
sa tangke niya. Pwede naman, madali lang yan, madaling gawin, konting adaptation lang. Tsaka minsan pag magtatayo na tayo ng ating, o kaya nagtatayo kayo ng panibagong bahay or facilities that will provide yung comfort rooms ba?
Mm-mm.
Isipin ninyo na pwedeng gawin nyo. So lahat ng lababong tubig pumupunta sa tangke ng toilets.
Oo, tsaka we have a friend
Doable.
who put up a restaurant. Yung drainage nila from the kitchen, syempre maraming tubig ang nadaan doon, ano? He put it toward the garden.
Yes, I decided, this
oh,
friend of mine, sabi ko,
Yung gardens nila.
lahat ng spillover o kaya yung pinaghugasan, instead of going straight to the drainage, kung exiting to the springs or to the storm drains, you harvest it na lang.
Oo.
The world is water
Hindi ka na
harvesting.
magdidilig kasi
Yeah, walang dilig.
automatic na it goes to the plants.
So, and then another thing that it's also the consumption. An average Filipino would need is using 90 liters of water per day. Now, for those of you who are saying, oh, parang napakalaki at ang figure na yun. The reality is, that is the figure na sa pag-aaral, pagsusuri. Kasi sasabihin ng iba, hindi naman ganyan karami yung tubig na eh. Kasi 8 glasses of water lang kami uminom. Ano pa yun?
Hindi lang ho yung iniinom natin ang binibilang.
Ito,
Pagdating sa
yung
consumption.
panlabaho ng ganito, yung
At saka sa
pinagluluto,
toilet,
panligo,
panligo.
pang-flush. Nandiyan ho lahat. Meron pa tayong panghugas ng sasakyan.
Siyempre,
Meron
hugas
pa
na kamay because tayo ay nag-iisip ng cleanliness.
Tapos
Oo.
malinis na bahay. Ang dami ho niyan eh. Pag inambag-ambag nyo pa, tapos idagdag nyo pa, yung pagkain. Pag nagluluto kayo ng
Diba?
pagkain ninyo, kailangan nyo pa rin ng tubig. Tapos, ang kailangan nyo maisip rin, pag nagtanim kayo ng palay, ang isang kilo ng palay, ang katumbas na tubig na gagamitin yan ay 2,000 liters.
Madami.
Marami.
Oo,
Ang
rice is
pagkain na
very...
kinakain natin. Lahat yan. There is so much water need that each of us is basically demanding. So where can we cut now? Can you imagine? If you use 90 liters of water per day,
Ang
and
dami
you
pang isang tao.
cut that down by 30%,
Dami, no?
you will see how far that will extend in 1 year or in 10 days. So atin yan sa shorter period. Pag you put the numbers together, like say, di ba, pag naglaba ka, maraming washing machine. Ngayon may puro washing machine na.
Oo.
Aming tubig na ginagamit yan. At tinatapon lang. Kasi sabi natin, maduming damit yan, maduming tubig yan, may sabon yan, toxic yan. Pero may paraan pa rin.
Well, also yung use nila ng sabon, piliin po natin.
Oo, tsaka may paraan pa.
Para hindi toxic.
Kaya nga sinabi natin, pwedeng pumunta sa CR, pwedeng pumunta sa
Oo.
mga iba-ibang gamit.
Nasa
no?
gamit din natin ng mga sabon. Kailangan
We need
mapag-isipan
to
natin.
really be mindful of this, what is going on.
At ito, Toby, alam mo, marami sa atin na naging plantita at plantito, di ba? Ano advice mo sa kanila? Siyempre, kailangan natin diligan pa rin yung ating
Oo.
plants. Oo.
Alam mo, okay, pag kayo may mga puno o halaman,
O kahit indoors.
indoors, no?
Mm.
Kunyari, ito yung paso. Siyempre, maraming halaman lumalaki, di ba? Hindi nyo mapipigil na hindi lumaki yan eh. Di ba?
So,
Nagpapalit,
nalaki rin ang roots.
nagpapalit din kayo ng paso. Di ba? Now, para mapanatili na yung moisture content ng inyong paso, tumatagal. Kadalasan pag indoor naman, mas matagal yung water retention ng
Oo.
lupa.
Unless maybe if it's air condition, no? Para
Pag nasa labas.
makatuyo
Ano
na.
yung ginagawa ko? Isang magandang payo para sa lahat. Maglagay ka ng parang mga tubes. Meron kayong,
Kahit bote ng soft drink
Oo,
na
soft
malaki,
drinks.
pwedeng gamitin.
yan. Imbis na
Recycle ba?
you water thoroughly, you put it in bottles and put holes in it.
The
Tapos,
cover.
The cover, itusok nyo sa pinakapaso. Minsan, siyempre, pangit yata tingnan. Pero mamili na kayo kung anong bote gusto ninyo.
Well,
para
kung
maganda
gusto
rin.
nyo, mas maganda, bamboo yung ginagamit.
Kawayan namin
natin,
ginagamit.
Para lang ba maka-recycle?
Kung
If
meron
that is
kayong
big
maliit na
window.
kawayan, kasi alam ko,
Pwede
nagtatanim ang marami ng kawayan sa
Mm.
bahay nila, sa mga bakuran. Alam niyo, parang straw.
Siyang may swero.
Oo.
Yun na,
Alam niyo gawin niyo?
idea.
Okay, hindi na yung malalaking kawayan. Ito yung, ang habol ko rito, na for as long as the water goes towards
The roots.
the root in the
Mhm.
base, so that's what water nourishes. It's the roots.
Mhm.
So ngayon, imbis na Surface lang. Kasi kadalasan pag nagdidilig, nagtitipid din tayo eh.
O nasa ibabaw lang
Sa
ng
ibabaw lang
tubig.
yung tubig.
Hindi naabot sa
Pag
ugat.
inilagay nyo sa ilalim, sa direkta sa ugat, at saka mas malalim yung tubig na lumalabas, at dahan-dahan siya. Kasi may straw eh.
Parang naka-time release siya.
Time release ngayon. So kagandahan niya, maganda nga yung matingnan yung kawayan eh. Ano niya. It's nice to look, it's natural. Then, it's even a talking.
O be creative na lang po. Alin ang gagamitin
Anong
ninyo.
gagamitin nyo? Kung gusto nyo gumamit ng bote, kunin nyo yung takip, bugbutas lang kayo, itusok nyo ngayon sa alaman. Para yung tubig, hindi siya exposed sa labas
Oo.
na nag-evaporate. Kung hindi, it goes direct
To your roots.
to the ground.
Alam niyo, nakakatulong yan. Depende sa laki ng lalagyan ninyo. Minsan, 1 to 2 weeks, okay lang yung halaman.
Ikaw
Hindi
next time,
kailangan-
ide-demo ko, gagawa ko
Ano?
ng parang video para sa inyo. O minsan naman, kung kayo ay may mga tanim na puno sa labas, o mga halang,
O doon, pwedeng mas malaki ang
para
ilalagay.
kayong makatipid. Kasi kadalasan, pag tayo nagdilig, sa surface yung nadidiligan
O
natin,
evaporate lang agad siya.
sandali lang dahil sa init, ang bilis matuyo. So, ang gagawin natin, kung may kawayan ka ulit, ilaliman ninyo. Tatansyahin nyo yung lalim ng ugat ng puno.
Paano yung buko niya na divider?
Di ba may
Anong
may
style?
nodes? May nodes, ano? Kunyari ganito yung haba ng kawayan, may nodes.
Bawa yan, di ba?
Okay,
Pero
ito.
node, may
Kunyari, ito yung kawayan.
Oo.
Ano? Kunyari, may node dun. Alright? Sige, ganyan. Nodes. Ito yung buko. Gawin nyo,
Or meron pa minsan dito, sa gitna.
yung
Dito.
bottom, hindi,
Hmm.
sinasabi ko na yung dalawang
Ah,
end
oo,
ng nodes. Okay, so, lagyan nyo ngayon ng extra rito. Diyan kayo magputol. One is shorter than the other.
So,
Okay,
parang
tanggalin mo
kakakain,
yung node
shorter.
dito. Ito, tinanggal ko yung node na to.
Oo.
Butas yan. Exposed. Tapos dito naman, ito yung node, may allowance. Right? Konti lang, 3 to 4 inches lang. Tsaka yung tatalasan ninyo eh.
Ayun
Para
ang ipapasok.
Pag pinasok ninyo ngayon sa ilalim, yung buo, kung ano man ang size na gagamitin nyo, anong lalim ng ugat, itutusok nyo pababa.
The longer the better.
Kahit
Pero,
ganito lang ang nakalabas. So, dyan kayo maglalagay ng tubig. Gandahan niya, the moisture underground will be maintained. Tapos, alam niyo naman, the presence of water next to a root system, malamig ang tubig. Hindi nga na-access ng puno directly, yung ng roots. Pero, habang nagdi-drip yun ngayon, may drip system. Kasi yung, kunyari, ito yung node, ano? May node yan. Magbubutas kayo dyan eh. Yung laki lang ng didos na pako, kahit dalawa. Butasan nyo. So, ilubog nyo ngayon. So, again, it serves as a drip system. Tapos, pag kayo nagtanim ng puno, kung ngayon pa lang kayo magtatanim, kukain nyo ng, kunyari, ito yung laki ng bag, no? Ang ganyan.
Mm.
O kahit na mas maliit. Ang gagawin ninyo, kung ano yung size ng bag, ako kadalasan halos 0.60 yung lalim eh. More than half a meter yung lalim. Tapos, kung ito yung ibabaw, this is the surface, ipukan nyo yung ilalim.
Parang bombilya itsura.
Right. Okay? Saka nakaganon. Saka kung nasaan yung tapered, nandun mismo yung seedlings na may lupa.
Mhm.
Doon siya. Pero itong nasa ilalim, na gumanon, ang
Okay.
hugis, funnel, yung parang lumalaki siya sa ilalim. Ito nagte-taper pa akyat.
Parang baliktad nga na bombilya.
Oh.
Maliit.
So,
pa.
mangyayari niya, pag kayo'y nagdilig, all of the water remains in the base. The moisture goes up. So, what will the tree do? The roots will seek the moisture. So, yung direction niya pababa. So, since malalim yung
Butas.
yung butas mo,
Mm.
so you're guaranteed the moisture is continuous. The presence of moisture and water underground is continuous. Minimik nyo lang what it is like during the rainy season. So these are tips that you can be doing if you like plants and so that you can save on water.
Oo. So kung konti lang ang ating dilig, yung roots ng halaman, nandun lang siya sa surface.
Mm,
So madali rin matuyo.
mag-evaporate.
Oo.
So,
Pero dito
may isa naman sistema.
repeat lang, no? Yung ating tubo ng bamboo, ang butas sa ibabaw mas malaki kaysa sa butas sa ilalim.
Hindi,
Ganun ang
kung ano yung
sistema.
butas ng kawayan, kung ano yung lawak ng kawayan sa ibabaw, ayun na yun.
Oo, sa baba,
Sa ibaba,
mas maliit ang
nandun yung
butas.
node, didos yung pako. Maliliit lang.
Mas
So,
maliit.
magdi-drip yan.
Parang little
Pero
shower.
asahan nyo, yung gano'n na malaki, 3 butas na didos, 3-4 days, ubos na yung laman ng kawayan na kung yung laki ng kawayan mo didos or less, 1.5. Pwede
This
na
is
yun.
for trees.
For trees. Ngayon, kung kulangin kayo at malilit ang kawayan nyo, hindi tatlohin nyo. Pag tinignan nyo, lahat ng ididilig ninyo, imbis na nasa surface, pumupunta sa ilalim.
Tsaka makikita nyo naman ang result kasi yung halaman nyo masaya.
Oh, kahit na
Hindi
mainit
ka
na mainit,
nalalanta basta.
kahit na mainit, malusog. Pag
Mm-mm.
masaya yung mga puno. So, these are ways and means. Tapos, have impounding. If you have a farm and you have a water source, don't let it go out and spill over to the wherever it goes. Sa amin nga, sinigurado ko na yung aming mga magsasaka na every drop will count. Noon pa, hindi pa ako, wala pa ng climate change. It's just a practice.
Practical lang siya.
Water is precious, you know. And every drop will count.
Oo, kaya sa aming bahay po, ang mga drainage namin, patungo sa kung saan
Sa mga
kami
forest.
puno.
Kunyari, galing na sa septic tank. Kunyari, black water ang tawag dyan. Sewage water.
Or gray water kung mas
Kung
ano yung
gray water,
sistema.
magagamit pa yan direkta sa mga halaman, which ginagamit namin. Pero yung black water, siyempre, hindi mo pwedeng expose yan. May dalang mikrobyo at bacteria yan . So, ang ginawa natin, kunyari ito ang mga tubo, nag-drain siya. Imbis na yung septic tank mag-spill out sa ilalim na yun ang common practice. Kasi meron tayong solid chamber, may different series of chambers, which is leaching chamber, ang tawag nila. It leaches on the ground. And that's not good too. Because
Baka kung malapit sa water source nyo,
pag
delikado
may spring
yan.
kayo, toxic. It will contaminate. And water will find its way. Mas lalo kung yung lugar niya maraming puno.
It's always looking for the lowest
Right.
pH.
So, yun naman, halos solid. Walang walang leaching na magle-leach sa lupa. May spill out na tubo. Paglabas niya, pupunta na siya ngayon, we direct the water towards the forest.
Oo, hindi
Right.
pa ganoon, but slow movement.
Right.
No?
The
Para may
movement
time
and it
ma-absorb.
spreads. It spreads, yeah. Tapos yung end nun, meron din siyang mga concrete. We call it lusob. Parang concrete pipes below. I-embed namin sa ground yun. Doon siya mag-spill. Lahat ng katabi niya, puro puno. So yun ang nag-feed sa mga ugat ng ating mga puno. So the trees and the earth is one of the only elements that can actually clean water.
Oo, parang filter siya.
Okay.
Filter,
It's the best filter.
filtration system. Oo. How about now, let's talk about water in our bodies. Kasi ngayon summer nga kailangan mag-ingat tayo na hindi tayo ma-dehydrate. Water, our body is largely made up of water, and pagka
6%.
tayo inuhaw, actually, yung feeling na we are thirsty, that's already a sign now. Oh, your body's already
5%.
dehydrating.
5% or to 10% na kulang na kayo sa tubig.
Yes, so we have to be very careful about our water consumption. What we really need is water, not the soft drink, not the fruit drinks, water.
Yeah.
Without water, yung systems natin sa body will not function
Right.
properly. We cannot process the food we are eating very well. We cannot also eliminate what we need to eliminate.
Brain function is severely affected immediately.
Yes, kasi brain
Sumasakit
mataas
agad
ang
ulo.
water content niya.
Right.
And not only do you get headaches, you can also experience confusion, especially if you're in senior citizens, and it can affect your balance. Being dehydrated can cause an older person to fall down. You might get broken bones and things
Right.
like that. So wag ho natin yan pabayaan. No? Let's not take it lightly. We really should drink clean, fresh water. No? As
And we
much
also
as
need to make
possible.
sure that the water that we consume, huwag tayong gulping it down. Minsan kadalasan pag uminom tayo, kaya ito yun.
Sa
Glug, glug,
by
glug,
the
glug,
baso,
glug, glug,
oo,
ano?
by the
Dapat,
litro. We stay
Sips.
hydrated. Stay
and that
hydrated.
is absorbed by your body better.
Oo.
Okay?
Tsaka kung meron po kayong medication na tinitake, tingnan po ninyo, baka lalo na kung may high blood, diabetes, sometimes yung medicine can cause dehydration. May mga diuretic ho kasi, di ba? Ibig sabihin, it helps your body to eliminate water kasi it's trying to find a balance because of your conditions, but it can lead to dehydration.
Dehydration.
So, ingat din po tayo.
Tapos when you drink, let's say, certain types of colas,
Oo.
dahil high caffeine yan.
Oo.
So the body will demand more water
To process,
to
no?
process it.
So that's not only with caffeinated drinks, but yung mga sugary drinks, lahat ng hindi water, we have to process it pa. So we need water to process those
Right.
drinks. So dapat talaga, kung hydration ang iniisip natin, tubig talaga. And also a word of warning to those who are dieting. Some diets can cause you to lose water. For example, kasi what we eat and drink also adds some fluid to our diet, di ba? Like soups, fruits, and vegetables, high water content yan. Now, those who are on low-carb diets, medyo maapektahan din ho ang inyong hydration because the nature of carbohydrates, when we prepare it for cooking and for eating, maraming tubig nalalagay. So, carbohydrates are considered very helpful for hydrating. No? So, if you're on a low-carb diet, then make sure that you are compensating the loss of water from not eating carbs. Have more water.
Like fruits and vegetables, they're high water content food ang tawag.
Mm-mm.
And kumbaga, pag yan ang kinakain natin, it doesn't require so much processing ng katawan kasi most of the time, fruits especially, ano na yan eh?
Siyempre, natural naman
Natural.
naman
The
yan.
process na yan, it's pre-digested. Like, it's pre-digested food already. So it doesn't stress your body, but because it's packed with moisture and water, so it adds to your water needs every day.
Mm.
So again,
And remember hindi rin tayo, minsan ang tao nag-iisip, oh, I have to drink water kasi pinawisan ako. Remember, we have two kinds of perspiration. Meron hindi natin nakikita. No? So just because hindi tayo nagpawis na as in kita natin na hindi na tayo kailangan uminom.
even
We
in
still have to drink.
to add to what Tita Marisa said, even during exercise time,
O
o
yan.
kahit sa gabi, di ba,
Oo.
humihingat ka, nag-exhale ka, di ba? So
Respiration.
yung
uses up
respiration
water.
uses up water.
Oo.
Okay? So these are things to consider. Now, okay, ayan na yung para sa personal natin, ayan na yung ginagamit natin ngayon. Let's talk about water source.
Yan.
Kasi kadalasan water source natin nasa gripo
Oo.
No.
Meron pa hong ibang pinanggalingan.
Malayo ang process
Malayo,
ng pinanggalingan.
oo.
Kasi yung water source ho ang issue. Kasi ng marami. Dahil ginagamit ho yan para sa pagtanim. Ito yung hindi natin nakikita.
Yun ang malakas gumamit
Malakas
ang agriculture.
Agriculture. Ngayon, dahil ang nangyari sa ating halos sa ating bansa na, huwag na natin isama yung mga ibang bansa.
So this is a worldwide issue.
Yeah,
Still, we have to work on our area.
ibalik natin, kunyari, ang populasyon ng Pilipinas 100 million o 108 million. Gagamit yan ng 90 liters of water per day. Okay. Ngayon, kung replenishment in nature is not taking place, kasi minsan, akala natin, oy, nagbabaha, dami-daming tubig. This past 3 years, na experience ng mga southern provinces natin, Visayas, Mindanao,
Sobra.
yung Typhoon Odette, tapos iba-ibang klaseng typhoon ang pumasok recently, o kahit hindi typhoon, pero napakadaming volume ng tubig. Pag gano'ng kataas yung volume ng tubig, kadalasan niya, at wala tayong mga puno sa ating bulubundukin na lugar, yung speed ng surface water during high moisture or high rainy season, kung ano yung bagsak niya, ano mabigat yan. So,
Mabilis.
mabilis na yung
Nagraragasak.
lalabas. So, nakikita natin na experience yung mga tinatawag na flash floods.
Tsaka ano yung bagong term nila ngayon? Parang river.
Atmospheric
Oo.
reverse.
Yun.
Kasi
Ano
kunyari,
yun?
sanay tayo
Mm.
nung araw na, kunyari July, sasabihin ng Pag-asa, the average rainfall on the month of July, may ganun sila, is 200 millimeters of rain.
Hmm.
Right? Ngayon, meron pa rin 200 millimeters of rain na huhulog. Pero, ang difference is, tuyo ng 3 linggo, tapos, on the last week, bubuhos.
Naku, lahat on one go.
Oh, ito marami tayong may kasalanan eh.
Ba't nagkakaganon?
Kumbaga siyempre imbalance na eh.
Sobrang init.
Sobrang
Maraming
init.
moisture maakyat.
Tsaka hindi yon. In nature, when nature tries to adapt,
Oo,
Ito,
nagbabalance, di ba?
kasi yun ang gagawin niya eh. Ngayon, kung mataas masyado, let's say in the ocean, it's very hot. Okay? Ano nagpapalamig?
Yung hangin, tubig,
Ano pa nagpapalamig?
the trees.
Hindi. Kung sa karagatan, wala namang puno sa gitna.
Okay.
Sorry, nagtuturo ako ron dahil
I thought on big
nagtuturo
scale.
ako gano'n
Only
kasi
sa
nasa harap
ocean.
namin yung dagat.
Oo.
Oo. Ibig sabihin niyan, sa dagat na yan, puro salt yan eh. Asin.
Mhm.
Hindi ba sa water cycle may evaporation galing sa di ba? Sa dagat. Tapos, meron din ang puno, kumbaga na yung bulubundukin at saka yung karagatan, nag-uusap yung dalawang yan eh. Gumaganyan eh. No?
Yeah.
Okay? So, what happens is, the water cycle becomes,
Imbalance.
imbalance eh.
Oo.
It's not consistent.
Mhm.
You know? So, nangyayari, di ba, sa karagatan, hindi natin nadadama yung ocean storms ang tawag. Mag-evaporate, pupunta sa ulap, tapos iuulan niya ulit. Di ba? Tapos meron yung mga malalaking alon na namumuti. Di ba? Oxygen yun eh. Alright? Tapos yung ulan nga, bakit kaya umuulan sa karagatan? Di ba? May mga tanong na gano'n. Hindi naman nila kailangan ng tubig dun eh.
Oh,
But it's a means to recycle
the water.
the water. And
Everything comes in cycles in nature.
and the water that comes down is cooling
So rains pa rin ang cooling factor
Mm.
in the
in
ocean.
the ocean.
Kung mainit ang ocean,
Pag umiinit yung
kaya
karagatan,
marami yung rain.
kaya nagpo-form ng malaking volume. Kasi
So yun
mainit
ang
yung dagat.
sinasabing atmospheric reverse.
Right.
sa
Maraming
dami ng-
marami pang pinag-aaralan dyan. Pero
Mm.
ayun na yung may sagot na gano'n. So, pinag-iingat na natin ngayon yan. Ibig sabihin lang nun, pag umulan, kunyari,
Todo.
3 linggong kulang ng ulan, biglang 1 linggo yung dami ng ulan, hindi tayo nakahanda doon.
Lalo na kung wala na tayong mga puno.
Lalabas talaga sa dagat. Yan ang mangyayari. So these are things that will take place and it is already taking place today.
So you mean it will rain in the ocean on the land, and from the land, because sobrang lakas, diretsong dagat.
Diretsong
Dahil
balik.
ang lakas ng flow.
Kaya yun ang nangyayari sa atin, sa South. Minsan may saka hindi may specific location na nangyayari. Hindi yung region-wide. Papansin niyo sa Visayas, even in Mindanao, you will find even the recent typhoons, binaha dito sa lugar na to, pero hindi binaha sa ibang lugar.
Depende sa land area, yung slope.
How the dynamics is taking place. But in general, kung may atmospheric rivers, hindi ba tawag ito, may bago na tayong natututunan na naririnig, shear lines.
O yan, laging ginagamit ngayon.
No,
yan,
hindi
no?
natin ginagamit yan. May shear
Nagre-report
lines,
ang
di ba?
Pag-asa.
May shear lines. Tumataas, bumababa.
Kung
Yung
ano ba
position.
yan, shear line na yan.
Shear line, kumbaga na, mainit yung hangin dito, malamig yung hangin dito.
Yung reaction nila.
Pag nagsalubong, Ayun yung line na yun.
And then what does it do? How
Nandun
does
yung
it
maraming,
affect that?
nandun yung maraming ulan.
Yun.
Yun ang magbibigay ng thunderstorms and storms.
Biglang ulan na ang
Oo.
lakas parang bagyo.
Tapos minsan yung shear lines, nagko-cross ng Visayas, nagko-cross ng Luzon. May mga ganun, pumapalo yan.
Tsaka
So when these things happen,
hindi basta nawawala.
so you see, when you have, and sa atin, ako, magsasaka ako eh. So we grow our food, and I have my neighbors, farmers,
Mm.
and we welcome the rain. If anything, bring him on. Umulan na kayo na umulan. Kesa yung
Part
ganito.
yung yan ang pagdadasal ng farmer.
Kesa yung ganito kainit, naluluto, nasusunog yung aming mga tanim. Sobrang init. Ngayon ho, ganyan dito sa aming probinsya. Halos yung buong region hanggang Pampanga ng isang linggo nga.
Oo.
Last weekend, on our way home from Manila, it was Sunday afternoon. Then I know the place very well. I've driven to this central Luzon plains for so many years. Basically all of 40 years, I believe. And kumbaga kabisado ko yung wetlands, kabisado ko yung mga, kasi ino-observe mo palagi yun eh. Alam nyo ngayon, sorry to say, but even in the central Luzon, many of them won't be able to plant their crop.
Parang tuyo.
You know what's going on? Sa atin, damahin natin ito. Maraming tubig na dapat para sa agrikultura, dinadivert na nila para i-feed yung needs ng mga cities.
Yeah, kasi
It
sa
can be
dami ng buildings
Sa
doon.
dami ng demand ng
Oo.
tubig ng mga
And
syudad,
industries also. And
So,
recreation area.
nababaliwala yung nababaliwala yung agrikultura.
Kaya pala nagkakaproblema tayo sa food
Problema
production
natin.
din.
These are things, there are give and take situations. You know, people will demand for, so that's a social part. They demand for the basic need that we all, to survive, which is water. So we need to feed that. Now,
But kailangan natin maintindihan, it's finite, no?
you have to weigh it.
Hindi pwedeng padami
You
ng
have to weigh
padami
it. For example,
ang ating consumption.
Yari, I need 8 glasses of water a day. I need 90 liters of water a day.
Maybe not, no?
Okay? And hopefully lower.
Oo.
Pagkain, mag-import na lang tayo.
Ayan ang problema. That brings on other problems. Kailangan
Yeah.
maayos natin yung ating
Yung mga supply chain and
production.
everything. Kaya nga ang presidente, yun ang concern niya. eh. Kasi if you want to put your food security on the top
of our
of
priority.
your priority,
Kasali dyan ng
it
tubig.
begins with the
Mhm.
source of water. You know, you may have your land, but it has no moisture. The soil biota doesn't.
Patay lahat ng soy biota.
Mamatay lahat ng organismo, mga halaman, hirap na hirap mabuhay. Kaya we need to get back to the very basics of learning to conserve water and putting back in place trees that can hold the water inland longer and stop converting wetlands, marshes.
Yan.
These are
Need that,
nature's
need that.
natural impounding system. Pag tanongin niyo sarili niyo sa amin, saan ba yung mga gaya? Alam mo sa atin, yung designer ng ating mga city, hindi nila consider yung role
The
ng
wetland.
mga wetlands. Makati used to be puro yun
The
marsh.
whole Manila was
The
part-
whole Manila.
Kaya Maynilad na.
Maynilad. Ibig sabihin yung Maynilad, pangalan ng isang puno.
Maynilad yung
Yung
halaman.
puno na yan, nabubuhay sa marsh condition.
Oo.
So ngayon, ibig sabihin nun, Marikina, yung mga
Parang
lumulubog.
bowl doon kaya nalubog.
Dito naman sa
Although they've made a lot of
Bulacan,
way to
Pampanga.
save there.
Do you know that all of the
Pampang,
places
no?
of, Pampang means
Mm,
tubig.
mm.
Maraming tubig. So, nakikita natin ngayon na,
Binild up lahat ng areas na yan.
so,
Kaya we're having water problems.
water
no?
problems. This is going to be something we will be faced with.
Now,
Now,
Nature Philippines pala, di ba meron tayong mountains?
ridges.
Ridges. Yung ridges natin, hindi ho siya, gradual slope.
Ganun.
Steep.
Kasi volcanic eh.
Agad. Kasi naturally, dun sa baba, merong
Catchment.
mga catchment, mga marshes natin.
Hmm.
Through the years, medyo mali yata yung planning natin. Doon natin nilagay ang ating mga syudad sa marsh areas na yan.
Lahat ito nangyayari.
Kakabaha-baha, no?
Yeah, dito sa aming probinsya, ganun din. Pag
And then as water rises, itong areas na to ang unang kukunin ng dagat ulit.
so,
Shall go back to the way it was. No?
we have
So,
to,
we have to rethink everything we are doing.
this is hard because it needs political decision making. But yet, as individuals, you need to take part in making sure that with regards to nature, nature supplies us everything we need. Water, clean air, food, homes, housing, clothing. Lahat yan. Nature is provided. Yung mga raw materials na mga damit natin, lahat yan, nature galing lahat. Lahat ng ginagamit natin sa mundo na to, puro nature provided. Hindi natin pwede ipagkailayan. Huwag nating sabihin na, hindi sa ganito galing yan. Pag kayo nagmaneho ng kotse, may sarili kayong mga kotse, saan galing lahat ng components ng sasakyan. Marami dyan. Minas, pagbakal, goma, tanim yan. Ang daming needs. Pag plastics, nakikita niyo, langis ang pinanggalingan niya. So, it's all being harvested in nature. Most of the raw materials that we all need as a population comes from nature. Now, but there is also a saturation point. If nature cannot provide you anymore the needs of 8 billion people,
Ayan ba yung sinasabi?
biocapacity,
Biocapacity. Parang nature can no longer provide our needs because we have too many, not really needs, mag-overconsumption.
we
na.
overconsume.
Oo.
So this
Tira
is
na
where
natin pa.
then we start to destroy the forest. We destroy the wetlands. And then when we are encountering rainfall, severity of rainfall, siyempre, yung tubig tatama sa mga syudad natin. Alam nyo ngayon, before we go, malapit na eh.
Yes. Mm-mm.
Just to remind you, or to make you aware that this is happening now in our country, there's rising sea levels. Ito yung part of climate change, no? Nagbabago. Rising sea levels. Ngayon, the landscape is changing along the coast. Alalahanin nyo, 60% ng populasyon natin nabubuhay along the coast.
Mm-mm.
So, may ganito. Kung maalala nyo, there was an earthquake in Bohol. I think it was 2014. To be correct, no? To be corrected, though. I'm not so exact on when
Yeah.
it occurred. But the seismic intensity of that reached 7.2, something like that. Malakas. Malakas yung tumama ron.
So it changed the dynamics.
It changed the
there.
dynamics. Marami kasi sa atin Pilipinas, di ba? What are we known? Sa country of how many islands?
Dami.
7,000 islands.
Oo. Depending on the tide daw, no?
Oh,
If it's
depending
high
where
tide
you
or
are.
low tide daw.
Alam nyo, sa Bohol nangyari. There are several islands
I think around 5 now.
that are major islands that are habited.
Yeah.
By many people. Huwag nyo isipin na ganito lang karami. Siguro mga 100 lang yan. Hindi. Libo-libo yan. Nakikita nyo that the place is built up. Houses are there. Everything. They have roads. They have electricity. They have all their needs. But you know what happened? Many of these islands are being submerged today.
1/3 of the year daw, they are submerged.
Submerged.
Now. Oo.
Kumbaga yung
Usually, pag
kunyari,
high tide,
mag-high tide, yung barangay road mo, gabewang na yung tubig. So, ibig sabihin yan, sanitation,
lahat affected.
pollution,
Oo.
lahat apektado. So, sila, tinataas na lang nila yung, nag-stills na lang sila kasi wala silang mauuwian at pupuntahan. But these are factors.
That can happen to all other
All of,
islands. in
not
our
only
country.
other islands,
Oo.
also where we are in La Union.
Yeah nga. All the
Sooner,
other islands in our country.
10 years from now, kung nasa kami ngayon nakaupo, baka nandyan na yung baka nandyan na yung swells at saka yung palo ng mga kumbaga ng shore breaks ang tawag.
Mm-mm.
So anyway, sa ating mga kaibigan, please let us be aware and mindful of our consumption of the things that are surrounding us, and we cannot just be continuing this over consuming of natural resources. We need to consider to put, pag ano, lagyan nyo ng, okay, stop.
Put a cap on your
Bag
Your
kayo,
consumption.
di ba, meron kayo sa mga computer, meron kayong,
pause.
pause. Mag-pause kayo muna. Teka, isipin natin kung saan tayo papunta.
Mm-mm.
We are using now the resources of
Future generation.
future generation. What will they have?
So on a lighter note, before we go, I would like to say that water is essential to our lives. But one of the things we get from water is also the wisdom that look at water, it's always seeking the lowest point. No? So just like water, we should be like that. Let's be humble. Let us accept our position as being the stewards of nature. So alagaan natin ang ating mga resources para sa hindi lang sa atin but for the future as well.
O sige, magtipid na kayo. Water challenge. Gumawa kayo ng ganon.
I will use
Sa
that
bahay.
water this week.
Water challenge. Ibig sabihin nun,
Oh, pakuntian tayo ng
konti
gamit.
ng tubig.
Pero don't forget to take a bath.
Alright? Kailangan. Okay,
Kayo lahat.
naspo, pwede pa naman. Di ba? Thank you. Have a nice weekend.
Pangkalusugan, pangkalikasan, go para